Alright guys, we are back with another match and showing off my computer a little bit. In spirit of Halloween, some people at Zat TPX are really good at making sweet pumpkin designs. So I just wanted to show off one of those, and any of you guys out there capable of doing cool stuff like that? I've always just made like a block face with buck teeth, and I kind of suck at it, but whatever. So here we go. We got a match versus Chongo, and I'm still trying to use the same baton pass team, and I'm like, bloody hell, I'm going to pull this freaking thing off at least once. So in comes an ape, and I'm kind of thinking fake out, and I want to switch to Magnezone just so I like avoid it. But then I know if I bring in Nidoking after that, then he's still not going to be effective. So I just figure I'll go for Earthquake first. He ends up switching, no fake out, no whatever. So I'm like, alright, I suppose it's okay. But I'm going to pull off counter, so I'm going to get a couple of gimmicks out here. Poison Point activates, but I don't really care about that because I'm going to hit him for 600 some points. No, I'm not. I'm going to flinch. I'm just like, really? Really? That is just my freaking luck. So it's really unfortunate, and I get a Sucker Punch off despite being -1. The poison's going to be beneficial in the end, though I rather would have had the lack of flinch and lack of poison, because then Gyarados would have taken a massive amount of damage anyway. But it just really frustrates me. And so then I kind of make a mistake. I decide that looking at what I have left, that I'm just going to go for it immediately. I've seen Ape, I've seen this Gira, and I'm just like, you know what, I don't know. I end up making a mistake. I went for Baton Pass a little too early. I was thinking, you know, if I can get up some subs while he dies from poison, that'd be really sweet. But I'm like, oh, this isn't going to let me get Swords Dance off. I'm only going to get a +1 attack over to Machamp, you know. And based on the amount of time that it looks like Poison's going to kill him at, then I don't think it's actually going to have the chance to be a clean pass. I think it's going to be something more where he gets to choose what he wants to bring in, and it's just, it doesn't look very good. So I'm sitting at +2 speed. I thought I was at +3 at the moment. So I'm looking at my team, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stay in here, but where am I going to go? Do I want to go to Umbreon and try and make something happen? I can't because he's got Ape. So I guess I'm like, well, I suppose I can go to Magnezone. That should keep Ape away for a little bit. And if he's going to be really fast, you know, that might be something. It's, you know, obviously with a bunch of gimmicks like this, I kind of wanted to keep Baton Pass on the down low, and I messed that up. But I end up going to Magnezone, and I thought I had +3 boosts. And then Ape comes in anyway, and from his perspective, he said he just forgot about the speed boost. He was like, oh, Ape is faster. And I'm thinking more about, you know, I end up only being +2, so I'm still going to be slower after checking my speed. And I'm just like, well, this sucks. Like, what am I supposed to do now? You know, I no longer have Nidoking as fodder. I got to go to something, but I'm like, whatever. I'll just go for it. Maybe if he's a lead with Fake Out, he doesn't have any speed. I don't know. But, whatever. So, UFO dies, and that's sad. And so now at this point, I really have to go for it. And I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe he only has a fighting type move with his, you know, potential Fake Out and Stealth Rock and garbage, and I can get out of that with Protect. So in comes Registeel, and I'm like, well, this is probably going to be the best thing that I can hope for unless it wants to explode, but I still have Noir for that, and I've got an Umbreon for it as well. So he starts going with S-Toss, and I'm like, you know, I can get a Swords Dance off on an S-Toss, and I'll still be able to survive. But then he T-Waves me on it. I'm just like, no, that should have been a substitute. But, so that's a little bit unfortunate, and now I'm slow as dirt. But I'm going to keep trying to get some boosts up. Obviously, I'm still at the 162 hit points, so I know I can get more attack. Then Leechy kicks in. I'm like, so now I'm +5, +4. I go for a Protect just to get one extra turn, and from there on, I'm going to think, you know, like, where exactly do I want to go? I could technically go to Umbreon, get a Wish off, come back, all sorts of stuff, maybe get some curses up. I could go to Machamp. I could go to Dusknoir. And Wi-Fi is like, or you could just troll. I'm like, oh, God, I hate Wi-Fi so freaking much. So we're going to restart and replay it. And we figured that the hacks would play out a little bit differently. So I figured this time I'm bloody hell going to get that counter off, and I'm going to freaking make it work, right? You know, as long as we get to the same situation of +5, there's the Poison Point. And here we go. Oh, are you serious? I flinch again. I don't know what the math is on that for the low chance of having both of those happen in the same turn, but then both of them happen in the same turn again, and then Focus Blast hitting 2 out of 2. I'm just, whatever. I don't know what the % chances of math are on there, but that's where we stand. Anyway, so it ended up playing through the same way perfectly. We didn't expect that. I just figured as long as I get to the same situation of +5/+5 and paralyzed, he said he clicked Toxic and I clicked Baton Pass. So as long as we get to that situation, it doesn't really matter what I have left alive. I'm not going to pass to Magnezone or anything like that. But it ended up playing out perfectly well. So at this point now, we are staging it for the fact that I'm just going to get 2 Swords Dances, and he's just going to go for T-Wave until it's the appropriate time for me to switch out. And I'm just going to, start protecting and getting Swords Dances from here on out, getting the speed up there, and I'm counting everything. Though, granted, now in my narration, I've lost count. So I think, what was that? That was another Protect. So I think I'm at the +5 already. And that was +4 speed. That was +5. Nope, that was his Toxic. Okay, so that was the turn where I would have Baton Passed last game when it disconnected. He went for Toxic, I went for Baton Pass and got paralyzed, so no loss there. I go for an extra Protect, thinking that if he wants to T-Wave, I'm actually going to need that 7th speed boost, because right now he's sitting at 7 boosts instead of 6, which, being paralyzed, that actually makes an impact. But then I figure, I've got Umbreon for a reason. Umbreon's going to be able to take a status and then get away. I am afraid of Infernape with Fake Out and a fighting move, so I think he might bring in Ape right here. He's not going to go for a second status, at least I don't think so. I know I could go over to Machamp and win the game if I wanted at +5, +7 with Life Orb, and he's got priority. So I know Machamp is going to be able to win the game if I want to. But I mean, for 4 years, I have wanted to do this. I have wanted to pass to freaking Dusknoir from a Ninjask, make him speedy and beastly for 4 freaking years. I tried to set it up once against some noob, and he disconnected before I was able to pull it off, so I have no video evidence of it. But finally, my dream is going to come through. I've got a speedy freaking Dusknoir, cameoed by the pumpkin art, and here he is. Got the PZ trying to come in. I'm like, no big deal. You can Scarf Shadow Beam me all you want. Earthquake in the face. Oh, Speedy Noir coming through in the clutch. And he's just going to take this dude out. In comes Infernape trying to do something. I don't know what he's going to try to do. He ends up being a Scarf Infernape, so even if that Magnezone was at +3 like I thought, I still would have been slower. But he takes the Fire Blast like a beast. No crit, no burn. Infernape bites the dust. Get the hell out of here, Infernape. And then he brings in Weezing. And I'm just like, why did this thing not come in earlier? That makes no sense. And he was like, I forgot I had Weezing. I thought it was a Heatran. And I'm just like, well, that's a big difference from Weezing to Heatran. One has no issues. One has, what the hell am I going to do? So, at this point, he's totally raining on my parade. I can't Earthquake because of Levitate. Shadow Sneak's not going to do that much at +5. And he's going to have Will-O-Wisp. He can't explode on me, fine. But, I'm thinking, now that Ape is gone, maybe I should just waste these boosts, go back to go back to Umbreon, put up a Wish, maybe start getting some curses, and then maybe I can just switch it over to Machamp to finish the game. Machamp does have Fire Blast to go with it, so it would be able to take out the Weezing in 2 hits. At this point, I thought Stealth Rock was up in the game as well, actually, because of how I wasted Ninjask earlier in the game, putting up a couple of substitutes on Gyarados. I looked at its HP and I saw that Ninjask was at half. For some reason, I thought that was Stealth Rock related. So I tried to stay in. I figured, I'm never going to have a chance to do this again. Maybe I can get a crit and just go for some Shadow Sneak, see if I can pull something off. I thought about, do I want to put a burn on him or not, get some extra damage on there. But I figured no, because if I am going to go to Umbreon, I don't want him to die from burn. I'm going to want him to have to stay in there as long as possible. I knew, based on when it was Ninjask versus Registeel, that he didn't have a Taunt, he didn't have a Phase or a Roar or a Haze anywhere on his team either, just due to otherwise he would have brought it in. So I know that's not sitting around anywhere. But I decided to go for it. It didn't end up working. I tried to stall it off. He didn't miss any Fire Blasts either. I'm just like, what the hell, man? But I figured that was a higher chance than me getting some crit Shadow Sneak. And looking at my HP, I'm thinking, even with Stealth Rock, I'm still going to survive at 1. I'll take 36 from Stealth Rock, so I'll be okay if I come in with a Wish. Stealth Rock isn't up. And because Stealth Rock isn't up, I also thought that Blitz would have died on entry, and he doesn't. I'm just like, oh, this sucks, FML. So he's still only got 2 guys left, so I'm going to be able to, I think I can still make it work. he does go for Pain Split, and I'm just like, no, I was thinking about that earlier on his moveset. I knew he had it, and then I forgot completely about it. Had I gone back to Dusknoir on that turn, think of how hilarious that would have been. Unfortunately for me, I do obviously have a Wish in the air, which I wanted to pass over to Dusknoir, but then I was like, well, I don't want Weezing to hurt me, and I kind of figured he would just stay in at that point. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I kind of figured he would stay in, and I didn't want Dusknoir to die on entry. I wanted him to make sure the Wish gets off. So I get a Curse up. Unfortunately, in comes Lucario. I'm just like, ugh. I do have the +1 and all, so I'll be able to Baton Pass, take the close combat with the +1, Baton Pass out to Machamp, but he Swords Dances instead of goes for it. I'm just like, no! So I am +1, and he's +2, so that's going to negate one of the stages. And I do have 320 hit points, which is a ton, but I am Life Orb, so I'm going to die regardless. Unfortunately, it's just a clean kill. I thought it would at least be close, but it's not. And there's nothing at this point that Noir can do to Lucario. There's nothing Umbreon can do to Lucario. So I'm just, I'm so deflated at this point. Like, I thought I freaking had it in the bag. There was an obstacle in my way, which I figured would just make the victory that much more sweet. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pull it off. So it's such a downer, but at the same time, I still kind of pulled it off. I just wasn't able to bring out the victory. I know if I went to Machamp with that, I would have been fine. So it's not like I didn't care about the game at that point. I just wanted to have fun with it, and I definitely had fun with it. It was a whole... I'm deflated right there, though. I was so depressed last night, no joke. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure as hell did. Take it easy. Watch, whatever. Peace.